YouTube, what is going on, and welcome back to another video. This is a big video because we got some huge news coming out of the SEGA. I guess they had their business meetings or whatever, their quarterlies. You know how every big company has it, and we got some interesting news about Sonic Frontiers, and the future of the franchise in general. So please hit that like button and subscribe if you want more content like this. But let's get into it. Sonic Frontiers, a game that had a lot of pressure going on to it, just even before we knew what the name of the game was. We knew, okay, this is another attempt. This is obviously a follow-up to Sonic Forces. This is a huge game, a lot of pressure on this game, and I was curious to see how it performed because there was a lot of talk about this game throughout its life cycle before it released, and then after it released there was a lot of talk. And safe to say, Sonic Frontiers was a success, and it was not only a success, it was maybe the biggest success that Sega has had since like the old days of Sonic. I mean, this game sold damn near 3 million copies, and that's literally up until now. Like, so that's a couple of months. It released in November, it's February, 3 million copies, probably over that at this point. And so Sega talked about Sonic Frontiers and the future plans for it, plus the success of the game itself. One of the things that I found interesting was they are planning on getting a bigger budget for Sonic Team. Now, we don't know which Sonic Team they're going to get a bigger budget for, and we'll get into that in a second, but they have confirmed that we are getting a bigger budget. They say, "We expect development costs for new titles to grow even larger in the future. We will strive to ensure solid quality in the development of major titles from our existing franchises. However, development labor costs will rise due to the impact of the global external environment, and we expect this trend to continue for the foreseeable future since it is necessary to take on these challenges for major titles. We are proceeding with a bigger budget from even the basic research stage. Therefore, we assume the development costs for future titles will increase accordingly." So they're basically saying expect Sonic games to go up to $70. I'm not sure. I actually forget what Sonic Frontiers cost, believe it or not. But yeah, he's basically saying expect the cost of Sonic Frontiers to go up to $70, but you can also expect the quality to go up as well. And Sonic Frontiers was a game that had a lot of quality to it. I felt like, look, on PC, because I'm not sure how it is on console, but on PC the game looked incredible. It ran really good too. It didn't have any bugs or anything. It was just a smooth experience. Now, obviously, there are certain things that it could have improved on, but overall, I would say it was a pretty good experience, especially when you consider where they were coming from, which was Sonic Forces. So I thought the quality was fine now, but yeah, Sega basically confirms that we are going to be getting a much more quality-driven focus for Sonic in the future, and that is pretty awesome. So Morio Kishimoto, who is the lead, I guess, designer for Sonic Frontiers, he's been on Twitter for a while, and he loves interacting with the fans, answering questions. He said this to a fan. He said somebody asked him like what about the future of Sonic, and he said, "Yes, together with fans, we have taken the first steps towards the day that we will once again be a top game. We've seen the light for a AAA rated Sonic game." And that's a huge thing because he, just like how Sega said in their earnings call, more investment into Sonic. They want to get Sonic back to where it was, which was the top game, and AAA is the big word right there. That's the big buzzword. They want to get a AAA Sonic game in the works, and that's huge. I mean, that is very huge. Sonic has, I can't tell you what if Sonic was ever a AAA game, because to me, I think Sonic Adventure 2 was a AAA game. I thought Sonic 06 was a AAA game. So I don't know. But, I also didn't think Sonic Unleashed was a AAA game. And I'm not sure if Sonic and the Black Knight was. I don't think that was. It was on the Wii. So it's hard to say which ones were and weren't. But undoubtedly, Sonic getting a AAA experience is huge. I mean, this is basically confirming what Sega said, which is, boom, we are going to reinvest the money into the Sonic franchise. And by the way, we won. All the Sonic fans that tried to get Sonic to win some awards in the Game Awards, I myself included, we tried, it came up a bit short, but they heard us, though. They heard the message loud and clear, and we won. Sonic is going to get the love that he deserves. This is another tweet from Kishimoto. Just heard this news for the first time, and he's reacting, of course, to Sega and the earnings call. He said, "Just heard this news for the first time. Really? there are a lot of directors making Sonic. So I don't know which team they're talking about, but if my team gets lucky, we'll be able to compete at a higher level, ... So he is right. There are a lot of teams making Sonic. Now, I don't believe there are a ton of teams making Sonic games like his team is, right? Like, obviously there's, Sonic Mania and Sonic Generations. Well, maybe not Sonic Generations, but there's, there's like Sonic and Knuckles, and there's teams within Sega and Sonic Team that make the smaller remasters and the classic titles. They're not really making the sequels, the larger sequels like Sonic Frontiers. And his team, obviously, I believe, is the team that does that. So we'll see. I do believe, Kishimoto, I do believe his team is going to get the success of Sonic Frontiers reinvested into his team, specifically because he made Sonic Frontiers. I mean, it would be a little silly to give it to another team when they had, obviously nothing to do with Sonic Frontiers. And, there is one tweet I want to point out as well. It is interesting to me that Sonic Adventure 3 has been tossed around a lot. And it is, to me, something that I've wanted for a long time, and it's certainly something fans have wanted for a long time. The fact that we could be on the verge of getting it, or at least getting something like it, they've talked, a lot of fans have speculated about, hey, Sonic 06 was technically Sonic Adventure 3. No, it was actually Sonic Unleashed that was trying to be Sonic Adventure 3, but then it just never came, it materialized. They added too many changes. All I'm saying is, I think that Sonic Adventure 3 could happen. Kishimoto has teased that he wants to make that game. He's talked about how legendary Sonic Adventure 2 is, and he loves Sonic Adventure 2. I mean, this is something that I felt would never happen. I always said, look, Sega's never going to make Sonic Adventure 3 unless straight up they're about to go bankrupt and it's, hey, break this glass case open because we're about to go bankrupt. But yeah, it's confirmed. Like, he is considering Sonic Adventure 3, I believe. I think this is the right move for the franchise. Sonic Frontiers was such a good step forward. It was such a huge, okay, this is where we build off of moment. And for him to even be considering Sonic Adventure 3, that's amazing. That's amazing to me. But looking past that, so the DLC for Sonic Frontiers has well been established and known. We know what's coming. And this DLC might not be the only DLC that we get. So we have seen the updated chart, which includes, time stages and photo mode, and then obviously new playable characters, plus a new story added on to Sonic Frontiers. This may not be it. They may not be done. They've also talked Sega extensively about how they want to make Sonic Frontiers a bit more affordable as the years, or I guess months, go on, so that more people can get their hands on Sonic Frontiers and they can continue to try and make as much money as possible while they can reinvest that money into the Sonic franchise. We might be getting more DLC than originally thought. I thought this chart of all the DLC, this map was going to be the only roadmap that we got, but it's possible we could get more DLC for Sonic Frontiers than anybody expected. And I wouldn't be surprised. Again, this is a huge game and a huge win for Sega. I do wonder, however, what the future holds for Sonic Frontiers beyond just this game. The open world concept for Sonic, obviously it's a hit. It works. It's very cool. It's refreshing. But how is it going to work in the future? Is the model going to be tweaked at all? I do think that there were aspects of it that, I could have done without, with 2D. I think 2D just has to stop. I'm over the 2D stuff. I'm certainly over the same Sonic model as well. I hope they change the Sonic model, and then I hope they change the voice actor. I really am not a Roger Craig Smith fan. I never was. The only two voice actors that I want to see back is, I forget his name, but his name was Jason something, and he was the Sonic actor for, I believe he was in Sonic 06, and then he was also in Sonic Unleashed. And then obviously Ryan Drummond, who was in Sonic Adventure 2 and some of those games, so Sonic Heroes. So I want to see one of those two guys back. I thought they had the perfect Sonic voice, and some other changes being made. But I'm curious, though, because if you look at games like even Sonic Adventure 1, it had a kind of open world. I mean, it had open, you could run around, and before you go into a mission, you could explore the city. So maybe they'll return back to that. Sonic 06 had something similar as well. We'll see. I'm not sure what the future is in terms of tweaking changing the model of Sonic Frontiers, and they didn't really talk about that, but they did talk about the feedback that they heard, and a lot of them have talked about the feedback, whether it's, you know, some of the social media handles, or straight up Kishimoto. They've talked about the feedback they've heard from Sonic Frontiers, and it just seems like they are intensely listening to the community, which is a good thing. Could be sometimes a bit of a bad thing, because the Sonic community is notorious for fighting each other and fighting just anything. Like, they'll talk about, oh my god, no, Sonic's supposed to have black eyes or green eyes. I mean, it's pretty crazy, but still, I think it just shows we're all passionate about the franchise. So that's the news drop that we got, though. So yeah, Sonic Frontiers is a major success. We knew this already, but it's so much of a success that Sonic will be moving towards AAA titles, and it will also be getting a huge budget increase. We have yet to see if Kishimoto's team will take over. However, it is highly likely that he will, and Sonic Adventure 3 could be looming. Listen, I know I talked to death about Sonic Adventure 2, but if you've seen my video on why it's the greatest game of all time, it's for good reason. And if we were able to somehow get a Sonic Adventure 3, it would be the most excruciating weight of my life, because not only would I be incredibly concerned on whether it can live up to the Adventure series name and hype, but if it does, oh my god, are we going to get a Sonic Adventure 4? I mean, that would probably be what happens, honestly. I mean, I've been waiting for Sonic Adventure 3 for like 15, almost 20 years now, damn. But that is the news info that we got. What do you think about this news? Do you think they should make a Sonic Adventure 3? Are you happy with Sonic Frontiers, and what would you like to see changed? Let me know in the comment section. I am going to be working on some other videos. I think I'm going to be doing a bunch of classic revisit videos. I can't speak right now, but I definitely have some games that are really old that I want to check out again, like SSX Tricky, Street Volume 2. So I think I'm going to make some videos on those. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, thank you for tuning into this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
He's a rocket and he's ready to go, cause now the countdown has started and he's ready to blow. He's got the dope sounds bumping and his stereo. Go fast, putting on a show. Don't wanna get yourself together, there's no time to